Hi, this is Kaz at Rally Subaru, and I wanted to make this video just to show the differences between the dual screen setup that you'll see in some Subaru models and the tablet style, the one-piece larger portrait style infotainment system. For both these videos, this is a non-navigation equipped vehicle, but the only real difference there is you would see like a button, within the gauge. Not on this one, of course, this is a base model, but on the higher trim, you'd see just an option for the built-in navigation. Of course, on both, you'll have your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. So on the dual screen setup, that will live on this screen here, because we see sort of vehicle, radio, phone functions. That's where your CarPlay will sort of take over some of those features, whether you're using the inbuilt car or your phone is powering those things. So you have like your apps, Travel Link, which is tied into your Sirius XM, your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, being wired on this model, settings, clock, valet, and what I usually tell people is a lot of these are just set up. You don't actually really have to go in here very often. After the first couple of trips, first few weeks in the car, you've really got things dialed in. There's less having to go in here, and there's shortcuts to some of these things. For instance, like for your audio, right? You make changes to your phone volume while you're on a call. It remembers that, and there's a shortcut to our audio. Like I don't have to go through the menu here. I can just actually hold on the side knob here, and that it goes for any Subaru model. And voila, we get into our sound customization. And that's handy if you are using your CarPlay, because then you don't have to go back out to the menu and go to that sound menu. No, you're already in CarPlay or listening to your music here. Just push, hold, shortcut to your sound customization. And what we'll see when I get to the other one is some of the car settings. Normally they would be in this menu, but vehicle settings are down here. And the reason being, so your CarPlay can exist here and you can still access those vehicle settings, which is actually a nice little way that they've segmented the two systems, so you can continue to view your nav or your music here and still access that stuff. Whereas in the other system, you do have to exit out of CarPlay. Not a huge, deal breaker. It's not going to be a big deal for most people. It's just a little bit difference in the way that they've tweaked these systems. You'll still have physical volume. You'll still have defroster front and your rear, which also does the side and the wipers. And then dual zone climate control through the buttons there on the side. That will be the same in the other one as well. On the bottom here, so like I mentioned, you can jump to some vehicle settings on the secondary screen. If it's a 2024, in this case it's a WRX, even though it's a manual, you still see you'll have driving assistance like pre-collision braking, adaptive cruise. Slide it over. There's our car settings. There's some more eyesight, defroster settings, key settings, warning volumes, driving stats. That'll be an info button on the other screen. We'll see that in a moment. And maintenance, again, that'll be under info. So those two are kind of tied into one button we'll see on the other screen. What is the same on both is that climate exists right here at the bottom. You still have ability to change your fan speed. You can customize this particular position here, whether you want it to be AC or recirc or auto. There's a couple others that you can choose from as well. And then you can always just expand on that menu by touching in that particular rectangle. And then you see you've got additional choice where we can choose other airflow options or choose from one of these other climate settings. If you wanted one of those down here, there's a way to adjust that yourself. So there we go. Let's now go have a look at the other screen. And I'm just gonna jump out of this car and get into the other one. I didn't want to make two videos, just one and done. For the other video, I'm going to jump in this RS, which is actually kind of cool because this is the sapphire blue, which this color is on the WRX is only available on the RS trim. Sort of a limited edition special color. Sorry about the screen protector, but I'm going to leave that on for the owner to take off. I'm sure you would want to do the same if you're getting a new phone. You probably want to be the one to pull that protector off. So, top of the screen, this one you can either toggle through with the arrows or you can slide over. The first one we saw was going to be music. The second one being a few different widgets that we can customize. You can touch on that, and then you can choose which one you want to swap out. Slide over again, and then we see whether this is tied into that travel link. And then onto the main screen here. So radio, media, phone, those look familiar like we saw on the other system. Car info. I mentioned there's two things within that. There's the sort of a real-time all-wheel drive readout and your maintenance minders that you can customize. You can set up the vehicle that it will remind you as those things approach. And a few more over here. Of course, we can rearrange that as we like, just like we would apps on our phone. If we were in CarPlay, it would be one of these, it would actually replace one of these icons here on the main screen. So you could easily jump to that, and then these will always be here, as will this. They'll always be on the screen. You still have the physical controls there on the side, your hazard up top, front defroster, rear, side, and wiper, and then the physical controls for temperature. Still see your heated seat there, fan speed, and still the ability to expand on that menu. They just give you a little bit more real estate to work with, because now you can make quick changes, or you can fine tune it, or you can grab that. Oh, I missed it there. There it is. We can slide it down. It's a little bit hard with the plastic on the screen, I'll be honest. Gotta push a little bit harder. And that times out after a moment. I don't have to actually put it away. It would just go away after a moment. But yeah, there's your two screens in a nutshell. You can see it's really the same information, just a different view. I guess one other advantage that this screen setup would have would be that your Apple CarPlay fills this whole area here, whereas the other one, it'd be maybe more like this, more like from here rather than to here. So you get a little bit more real estate just to view your CarPlay and Android Auto. That's one nice little advantage, but other than that, it's the same function. Just the dual screen was a little bit more cost effective, and you can view different information. Keep the CarPlay up top and still view car settings on the bottom. Sort of a split screen setup in that way, but same either way. Hope that helps for anyone who has a question. What's the difference between the two? There you go. Let me know if you have questions. I'm happy to answer those for you. Again, this is Kaz here at Rally Subaru. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.